The Grand Canyon of Yellowstone is one of the premier features in the oldest national park. It is also the best hike. I'll let you be the judge. Our hike was 15.5 miles over 2,600 vertical feet, taking a little over 6.5 hours. We started in Canyon Village at the brink of the lower falls at 8 a.m. From this point, we continued on a north rim until it ends at Inspiration Point. A short road walk then leads us to Glacial Boulder Trailhead and 7-mile hold. Frankly, the best part of the hike was the first 2.2 miles along the rim of the trail. We started early, so we only saw 2 people on the trail, though there were a few more people at the various lookouts. The views were non-stop, definitely the best part of the hike. The beginning of the 7-mile trail begins right at the parking lot near the canyon overlook, and the views begin immediately. Yellowstone Falls. Yep. Strangely, the path is paved in places. I love this bench they just built in. Ooh. Another 1.1 miles takes us to Silvercord Cascade Viewpoint, which is kind of cool, but it's the last views we're going to get of the canyon for a couple miles. Hey, Glacial Boulder Trailhead. And here we go for the next part of our trail. 7-mile hole, 5 miles. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, okay. Ooh. The trail is flat and fast for the next couple miles. There's not really a lot to see. There's not a lot of features. There's a really cool meadow right about here, which is kind of interesting. And then we begin to drop into the canyon where the views get a lot more spectacular. A little bit of bear scat from a tiny bear. Of course, if you heard me say that, you might get mad and come chase me. Not graffiti, but rather worms. Kind of artistic. Pretty meadow. All right, 2 miles to the bottom of the river. Okay, this next bit is the most technical part of the hike. This trail is well defined and certainly wide and easy to see, but sometimes it's steep, hard packed with a little pea gravel, so you really got to watch your feet. But then we come into this large area with a bunch of geothermal features, which are totally cool and definitely worth taking a stop for. All right, we're beginning our descent down into the canyon, and it's a pretty big drop off on one side. But still, there's so many trees around, we don't really get a good view right now. Trail down is super easy. There is some steps though that require a little bit of work. Some of the more challenging steps on this descent down to the river. Here's another geothermal feature. Looks like it's a bit extinct right now, right off the trail. Look at the moss pattern next to this little hot pot. All right, this is perhaps the most challenging part because you have a really hard packed with these little loose rocks on top of it.
Where does the trail go?
Right. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. The tiniest little geyser. All right, we have a dangerous stream crossing. We can get carried away if we're not careful here. so clear. You might get more than you bargained for if you're not careful. This guy's been here for a while. It's like a well-trodden path and something worn smooth by many a crotch. There we go. Wow, look at the colors in the cliffside. I love this root system of that fell tree. Looks like a little tributary is coming into the Yellowstone River. Hiking up out of the river is the most physically challenging part. It's 1,400 vertical feet. Not a lot of shade. I drank most of my water here, but we definitely stopped a few times to take a close look at the geothermal features. Once we got to the top, of course, we were good and ready to be into the cool of the shade of the trees and to start walking fast. Yellowstone River. Oh, swift. And here's that tributary dumping into it too. Okay, so this rock sitting here on the side is leaking water. Turns out it's not a rock at all. It's a geothermal feature. Yet another little geothermal feature. Ugh, smells like sulfur. Well, I think we climbed out of the steepest part. Still have another few hundred feet to go to get to the rim. But those are some cool geothermal features. It's the most technical part, but still just like a bunch of steps. Frankly, I thought the hardest part was the loose rock down below. Yeah, once we climbed out of the canyon, we were really thankful to be in the shade and on mostly flat ground, but it was kind of boring. There wasn't a whole lot of views, so we went pretty quick. Now, we did stop at most of the viewpoints. For an example, right here at that Ribbon Falls, we stopped at that, and that was pretty. But then we kind of hightailed it. Now, my track is going to look kind of funny in a minute here because my phone went into low power mode, and so it wasn't tracking as often. So it looks like we just took an airplane flight right across. But no, we definitely went along the trail, and we stopped at many of the viewpoints and take some pictures we didn't see. The whole nature of the canyon changed because the light was different, and also there was a lot more people because it was mid-afternoon by the time we got back to the car. Ooh, pretty waterfall. Now that we're close to the brink of the falls, the thunder is deafening. So there you have it, the North Rim Trail combined with 7 Mile Hole. I think it's the best hike in Yellowstone. I mean, the boardwalks around Glacier Basin near Old Faithful and Grand Prismatic is definitely cool walks, but they aren't really hikes. But this one is a proper hike. I mean, 15.5 miles. If you're gonna do 7 Mile Hole, I really recommend you tag on an extra 4 miles and do the North Rim Trail. It is the highlight, and it kind of brings the whole thing together. And it's interesting to see how the nature of the canyon changes, especially at Observation Point. It's just a lot prettier to the west than it is to the east.